Hello, my name is Philip of York, 11/11/1993. I'm in Ukraine. I've been a volunteer on the front lines of Ukraine since 2022. Emotionally, it's quite difficult sometimes, but it's just the thrill of the hunt that drives you mostly in a situation. So it's a very big shame when you can't save someone, but really when you compare it to a situation when someone else evacuated someone that you wanted to evacuate, it's not much different. So it's like, they got away. One way they got away, they got into another car. Fuck, we lost them. They were killed. Fuck, we lost them. One less opportunity to put a body in a car. When faced with limited resources, how do you decide who gets evacuated first? Is there ever a right decision? You're never faced with limited resources here. This is one of the most well-funded, anywhere you look, even the grassroots volunteer movement, one of the best resourced conflicts in terms of humanitarian response in the world. We can bitch about it, but we all drive European cars, and like compared to Africa or compared to Afghanistan, the famous footage of the people clinging to the chassis of a plane. This never happens. There's always room for someone else. Very rare occasions, and you're like, oh well, okay, no more room. You had your choice. Because we do frontline stuff, like it's always completely acceptable to say, well, sorry, we can't take everyone. Like you could have gone 1 year ago or a month ago, and now it's too late. We'll just come back for you. We always come back for them. What have you learned about human nature through your experience in evacuations? That people are very resilient and they can get accustomed to extreme circumstances very easily. There's, to call them idiots for it, well, we are idiots for going there, so we don't have like the moral high ground of telling them, oh, you're idiots for staying. Everything is relative. Everything is very, there's no such thing as like a constant for human nature or, a Maslow pyramid of needs. Some people out there, when they don't want to be evacuated, and you say, well, like, your needs are not covered at all. They say, look around yourself, like, we have everything we need. So human nature is very flexible. Do you think the act of helping others in life or death situations is driven by altruism, survival instincts, or something deeper? In a critical situation, so in a life and death situation, but you have very few of those, I would say that instincts can kick in, but it's very hard to distinguish. So massive bleeding, when someone is bleeding to death, yeah, but everything we do is preemptive. So you come and someone is there and you say, you do the talk and you offer them to leave, and they say no, and the next day you can come and they're still there, so nothing happened. And in a month you can come and they're still there and they're still very much alive. So it just makes you feel stupid. It's not life or death situations. Life or death situations is when they're really about to die. So this happens very rarely. And in that case, yes, yeah, I guess like altruism, chemical. Over 3 years, like I've never had the opportunity to seriously reflect on it. Feelings will only arise towards people who you have formed a connection with. These people we don't form connections with. I don't know their names. They say their names immediately, I forget them. We're driving 8 people in the car. We drop them off in the nearest safe location. I don't even remember how many people were in the car. Do you have a question why some people choose to stay behind despite the danger, and what does that say about the human spirit? Yeah, of course. It's their job to stay behind. We only meet people who want to stay behind, who have said 10, 20, 30 times that we are not leaving. So it's their job to stay behind and push their line, and our job to evacuate them, like with police and criminals. It's their job is committing crimes, and the police's job is to catch these people. And when you go into like the moral depth of police work, even though I haven't, or if you question a policeman, they will probably, I imagine, they will say the same thing. Like it's just our job. How has witnessing life and death on such a scale affected your perspective on the meaning of life? I honestly can't remember my perspective on the meaning of life before the full-scale invasion. The meaning of life. Uh, the simplest answer to the question of the meaning of life is defined by uh, the precepts of humanism, so that every human life is equally as valuable. Now, this work has shown me that regarding some people who I've taken out of harm's way, I would not say that their life or anything that they will be doing in the foreseeable future, unless a miracle happens, and this does not affect children, but even with children, sometimes you think like, what will this child be when they grow up with parents like that? They are not worth saving. They'll just cause more problems. It was their choice. Again, they've said multiple times, and then just play on their fear or on their shock of something happening just recently, like a shell hitting or a neighbor being killed, is not fair. Like sometimes you take someone out of danger, you convince them, and you waste your energy, and when the day is done, you think it's I probably dumped this person onto a system that is, breaking apart at the seams, really about to reach maximum capacity. And this person will remain in this system to be fed, taken care of, sheltered, paid for an indefinite period. Are we doing anything good for Ukraine? Is this the war effort to put old people who have told you to their face multiple times that we want to die here, play on their feelings in the moment, to evacuate them, to have them live for the next 10 years on a government pension of a bankrupt country? I'm not saying that it's morally wrong. I'm saying that this is not helping Ukraine in the slightest. Especially these some of these older people, they will be extremely anti-Ukrainian, extremely separatist, extremely pro-Russian. So the factor of the Russians, conducting warfare in a way that forces civilians who would rather live under Russia to escape and live under Ukraine, which they don't want to. They want to live under Russia, is also something that it's as though we are sort of playing Russia's game. If Russia had this immense IDP influx of pensioners, then maybe it would put just a small dent, a large enough strain on their economy to make it matter. Yeah, not that many civilians are dying on this, in this war. No confirmed deaths. It's not. I wouldn't say I've witnessed the fragility of life. It's just when you see a dead body, yeah, first time, second time, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, this person was alive and now he's dead, so this is a dead body. Like it looks like a person, but there is no person inside anymore. What does it mean to save a life in the grander scheme of human existence? Honestly, Carla, honestly, it is just speaking about accelerationism. I have no idea. I've completely lost if any moral imperative was there. It's just a job. Saving, this has changed my perspective. It's not saving a life. Yes, so this is why, for example, medical stuff, I suppose, I understand medical stuff now. They're quite cynical because all they do is save a life. But sometimes the lives they save, due to this Hippocratic oath, it's obvious to anyone that, maybe this person is better off dead. Do you think that people you evacuate see their lives differently after being saved, and does this inspire you? Yes, actually, yes. Some of the people have made a life for themselves, definitely. In moments of despair, where do you personally find hope or strength to keep going? I don't. Uh, I suffer from extreme addictions, which I don't need to satisfy with substances, but there's other ways like pornography or video games. So it's very easy to spiral down this path in moments of despair. Responding to it's a whimsical way, a quirky way of responding to ultra violence with ultra, hyperbolized, excessive compassion. Uh, by that I mean that you know, again, we have to deal with a lot of rejection. So a lot of rejection, like not like in Africa, when people will say, "Yes, thank you. This food is saving our life." What do you think this war teaches us about humanity's capacity for destruction and for compassion? A lot. This war reminds us about humanity's capacity for destruction and for compassion. But I think it's also about, since I lived in Russia for a long time, it's also like a very good case study of the devolution um, of a society, right, into something that would allow something as barbaric as this war. Do you believe your actions will leave a lasting impact on the lives you've touched? Well, fucking yeah, because if they stayed and survived under Russian occupation, it's interesting, yeah, because all these like you're taking away all these separatists. I'm not saying that all of them are separatists, but some of these pro-Russian old people, like they really wanted to stay in Russia. They really wanted Russia to come, not destroy their village, just come and replace Ukraine, because they've been brainwashed. So when you evacuate someone, you're like stealing a piece of candy from a child. Uh, so they have to live in Ukraine now because the route back to Russia is just too long and it's too expensive. I would say the success in this line of work is actually very, very strictly defined by the number of evacuees. It's an industry, it's a business right now. So I'm quite successful. And it's also the quality. You know, you can transport evacuees across the country from the relative safety of Kramatorsk or Dnipro, or you can do the frontline evacuations, which is obviously more valuable because not a lot of people will do it. In moments of doubt, do you ever question the meaning of your work, or does the act of helping itself suffice? No. Yes, I always question the meaning of my work.